The Janitor's Sacrifice. James Carter had spent 20 years as a janitor at Greenwood Mall, never asking for much, just an honest paycheck and the satisfaction of a job well done. Every morning, before the first customers arrived, he mopped floors, scrubbed windows, and ensured everything was spotless. He took pride in his work, even if most people barely noticed him. One chilly November afternoon, as James was finishing his shift, he saw an elderly woman struggling to carry her grocery bags across the parking lot. A sudden gust of wind knocked one of her bags to the ground, sending oranges rolling in every direction. Without hesitation, James set down his mop, hurried outside, and helped her gather her things. "Thank you, young man," the woman said, her voice trembling with gratitude. "I don't know what I would have done without you." James smiled. "No problem, ma'am. Let me help you to your car." He walked her across the lot, ensuring she was safe and steady before heading back inside. But as soon as he re-entered the building, his supervisor, Mr. Reynolds, was waiting for him, arms crossed, face stern. "Carter, I saw what you did," Reynolds said coldly. James wiped his hands on his uniform. "Just helping someone in need, sir." "That's not your job," Reynolds snapped. "You abandoned your post. We have rules here, and if you can't follow them, you're out." James stared at him, stunned. "You're firing me? Over that?" Reynolds sighed. "You know how things work, Carter. No exceptions." With a heavy heart, James removed his name tag, set down his work gloves, and walked out. He had no idea how he would pay rent, let alone afford groceries, but deep down, he knew he'd done the right thing. A knock on the door. The next evening, as James sat at his kitchen table, staring at the stack of unpaid bills, there was a knock at the door. He opened it to find an older gentleman in a crisp navy blue suit standing there. His silver hair was neatly combed, and he carried himself with quiet authority. "Are you James Carter?" the man asked. "Yes, sir," James said cautiously. The man extended his hand. "My name is Henry Lawson. I believe you helped my wife yesterday." James suddenly recognized the woman's kind eyes in the man's face. "Oh, yes, sir. I just did what anyone would." Henry smiled. "Not everyone would, Mr. Carter. That's the difference." He reached into his coat pocket and pulled out an envelope. "I heard about what happened. Losing your job over an act of kindness, that's unjust." James took the envelope hesitantly and opened it. Inside was a check. His breath caught in his throat when he saw the amount, $50,000. "Sir, I can't accept this," James stammered. Henry chuckled. "I own several businesses, Mr. Carter. One of them happens to be the Greenwood Mall. Mr. Reynolds no longer works there." James's eyes widened. "You fired him?" Henry nodded. "People like you make the world better. People like him make it worse. I'd like you to come work for me. Not as a janitor, but as a manager. Someone who ensures that our employees are treated with respect. What do you say?" Tears welled up in James's eyes. For years, he had given everything to a job that never saw him as more than a replaceable worker. Now, because of one small act of kindness, his life was changing in ways he never imagined. "I'd be honored, sir," James said, shaking Henry's hand firmly. The power of kindness. As James stood in his tiny kitchen, holding the check, he realized something profound. Kindness has a way of coming back, often when you least expect it. And sometimes, it only takes one good deed to change a life forever.